Thank you so much, Brian Harris and the New Thought Messengers. It's so much fun to have y'all here. Hey, come on up, everybody. Guess what? It's a beautiful day to be in community. I am practitioner Shelley Walker, and it is such a joy to be with you this day. It's such a joy to have you with us online, in person, wherever you're at. Oh, we have LaRonda Steele. I know. I'm super grateful, Brian. Did you catch that?
I'm sorry, I did not.
I am so thankful.
Oh, that was a segue.
That we have LaRonda Steele. I'm thankful for this day. I'm thankful for all of you. Hey, stand if you choose, stand if you're able. And let's ground this day in gratitude. It's a good day.
I want to say thank you.
Yes.
I want to say thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful, yeah. Oh, we're so grateful. Oh, let's sing together. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this healing, this healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Oh, this beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Oh, I thank you, Spirit, thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Oh, yes. Thank you for that fabulous guitar. Woo! Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for all this healing, this healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Oh, yes. Thank you. Say thank you. Yes, we're so grateful. And I teased Brian a little earlier about this song. I think I've done it every single time I'm with you. And I don't know if he's trying to tell me something, but that's good.
It's your signature song.
It's my signature. All right.
Before we get to that, I would like to welcome our community out there in the YouTube viewing audience. And whether you're watching from here in the state of Oregon or anywhere around the world, please be sure to put your location in the comments section. Hit like and subscribe. It helps others find us.
All right. Move around in these beautiful, these vessels that we are blessed to be in. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. Let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me know that holy, holy way. Blessings.
Yes, yes, yes. I can see why you do that song every time. Feeling it. So good morning, everybody. So great to see some people here in our outdoor sanctuary, and so good to have people joining us online. This is the time in our service that we acknowledge that we are on the ancestral land of the Kalapuya people. We affirm indigenous history, experiences, and sovereignty. Yes. So we also have some teens in the building in the outdoor sanctuary today. Already feeling their energy, so this is the time we say goodbye with their teen advisors. So much love for the work that they get to do together, and thank you for the leaders for leading the way. And yeah, we got some in the back too. So if you are newer here, just want to let you know there's some welcome packets available at the information table. And if you're joining us here online, please know that we are an inclusive, progressive, and compassionate community that is dedicated to spirit-led social action in the world and helping make the world a better place. Please know that all people, all faith paths are welcome here, and not only are you welcome, we have mindfully and thoughtfully created a place just for you, exactly as you are this day. So just take a breath, relax, settle in, and let's bring practitioner Shelley up to anchor our time in some prayer.
Thank you, Rev Masando. It's a good day. I invite you to join me with this next breath, allowing yourself to come fully present to this time, this space, to this moment in history, to this moment in the story that is you. Take a breath. How good it is this day to take a pause and to recognize that there is a love that is greater than all. There is a peace that is everywhere present. There is a grace that is with us and for us because it is us living on this planet, loving on this planet. And so knowing that this love, this joy, this grace is everywhere present and that we are one with it, I speak a word on our time together. Oh, how blessed we are to take a moment to renew our understanding of love, of justice, of good, and to renew our understanding of our place in it. How grateful I am for this community of love this day. And in this gratitude, we let it be. Blessed, blessed be. And so it is. You know, we've been having a lot of conversations this week about some of the changes that are happening in our world and how we are, as individuals, as a spiritual community, and as a collective global community, responding to the COVID-19 experience. You know, as data changes, as information changes, our response changes and our experience changes. Right? Response, the ability to respond to something responsibly, right? There are things that have these common root words. So I just wanted to take a moment this morning and give us a reminder of some of our agreements as a community. Many of you know that I personally have a medically fragile kid at home, and he's not old enough to get vaccinated yet. So you're going to see me wearing my mask a lot more. And I just want to let us all know that any of us who are wearing a mask, our agreement as community is that that's kind of a signal that we're not in a place to be hugging that day. So that's just going to be kind of our agreement with each other. And I would like to invite all of us, to think about what these agreements might be that we might need to make with other people in our lives, right? Maybe you need to have a talk with some people at work and say, I'm feeling uncomfortable. I'm going to be wearing a mask, right? Because safety starts here and it continues through our communication with each other, right? So our agreement is we get to wear masks if that is our choice, right? Here in our beautiful outdoor sanctuary, I feel safe here with y'all. And I'm going to wear a mask because that is what I need for me and for my family, right? Safety, sanctuary. It's so important. So as long as we're all on the same page and we can all experience this beautiful community with a sense of safety and love for ourselves and for each other. Yes? Yes. I'd like to invite the magnificent LaRonda Steele up. This is our time for our meditation. And so knowing that we are grounded in that safety, that it is a personal experience of a divine presence, that's what safety is, right? I invite you to rest in that as we experience this meditation. And so I invite you to rest your body, rest your eyes, and with this next breath, rest anything in you that might look like armor, especially around your heart. Because in this moment, there is only God. And allow this message to wash through you.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me, as me. Where I sing, God is. Where I dance, joy lifts my feet. And where I live, beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me, as me. Where I doubt, God is the faith in me. And where I cry, God is the comfort there. And where I seek, God is the answer, here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. And where I play, God is boldly playing, in and out and through me, as me. where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work, I breathe, I move and be, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I play, I take, I give and live. God is. God is. God is. God is.
And so it is. Well, LaRhonda Steele has already been introduced to you all as if she needed to be. But I would like to give some very exciting news about Miss LaRhonda at this point. On October 9th, at the Aladdin Theater, LaRhonda Steele is going to be inducted into the Oregon Music Hall of Fame. A well-deserved honor. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Boy, where I speak truth is, that got me. Whoa, I didn't realize we got, yes, all right. Strength, courage, and wisdom, y'all. Yeah, ooh, 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 ooh. Inside my head there lives a dream that I wanna see in the sun. Behind my eyes there lives a me that I've been hiding for much too long. Cause I've been too afraid to let it show. Cause I'm afraid of the judgment that may follow. Always putting off today for tomorrow. It's time to step out on faith. I gotta show my face. It's been elusive for so long, but freedom is mine today. I gotta step out on faith. I gotta show my face. Procrastination had me down, but look what I have found. I found strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. I found strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me. Oh, inside of me. Yeah. Behind my pride there is a me that knows humility. Inside my voice there is a soul, and in my soul there is a voice. But I've been too afraid to make a choice, cause I'm afraid of the things that I might be missing. I'm running too fast to stop and listen. Gotta step out on faith. I gotta show my face. It's been elusive for too long, but freedom is mine today. I gotta step out on faith. It's time to show my face. Procrastination had me down, but look what I have found. I found strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. I found strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me. Hey, hey, right inside of me. When I close my eyes and I think of all the things that I wanna see, I know that my heart is open now. I know that everything I want can be, so let it be. I know everything I want, so let it be. It can be, so let it be. And so I let it be, I let it be. So oh, 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 oh. 'Cause I found strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. I found strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me. Yeah, I know we found strength, courage, and wisdom. Oh, it's inside of us for so long, so long. Oh, yeah, strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me. Ooh, so I let it be, I let it be. You know what? I found it. Hey, come on. Yeah, it's inside of me. Yeah, I found it. I found strength, courage, and wisdom. I found it. Come on, sing that with us, y'all. You sing, I found it. Oh, it's right inside of you, inside of me. I found it. Oh, and it feels so good. Yes, it does. I found it. Inside of me, inside of me. I found it. Hey, I'm not searching no more. It's right here. I found it. Hey, hey, hey. I found it. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Wow. I've only been here for a few weeks, and every time I see a new artist come through, I'm like, this is just literally getting better and better every week. Thank you, LaRonda, for sharing your gifts with us. Thank you, Brian and New Thought Messengers, for doing your thing. As always, we are so blessed, aren't we? So this is my first official talk as the associate minister here at New Thought. Ooh, I know, I'm going to remember this day, and I'm already cherishing this time. So whether you're in person or online, just thank you so much for inviting my wife and I to be a part of this community. It is so special, and we already feel so at home here. So thank you. We couldn't be more honored and more excited about this next adventure for our life. So this week, there's these two words that have been coming to me over and over during my prayer and meditation. It's just these two words, and they've served as this really good medicine as we've been going through all of these transitions. And those two words have been take pride, right? Just take pride. And, I'm not talking about being prideful, that kind of pride that leads to arrogance, or that kind of pride that has us feeling superior to others, that kind of pride that, the Christians like to talk about as one of the 7 deadly sins. It might be kind of weird to give a talk about that. But I do think, actually, breaking down that kind of pride is really good, because I know all of us can maybe slip into that sometimes. So I thought we could break it down a little bit, just so we know and recognize it, can kind of name it when it might be, showing up as in our lives in some way. So whether that's in ourselves or others. So Dr. John Amadeo, psychotherapist and author, he talks about pride and pridefulness in this way. He says, pride can be a slippery slope towards arrogance, which is probably why Christianity viewed it as one of the 7 deadly sins. Coaches may drive players to win at all costs, including cheating, in order to bask in the pride and glory of winning. Political leaders have often mobilized national or ethnic pride to invade other countries. Much of the misery in the world stems from pride run amok. Brimming with pride around our religious or political ideology, we justify atrocities in the name of God, truth, or justice. A common connotation of pride is clinging to a haughty, boastful self-view. We may pride in the status of our bank account or academic degrees or how fit we are. Our sense of identity becomes defined by what we do rather than who we are. Our perceived accomplishments and status feed the prideful self-image. But I love this, but he says, but they don't really nourish us, right? This kind of pride that can breed arrogance, can turn us into cheaters, that can justify horrible acts, it actually is incredibly fragile, right? It doesn't have the ability to actually nourish us. It actually defines us. It builds our identity on all of these external factors, often which are always in flux and changing to begin with, right? And it creates this slippery slope, trying to keep that up, of doing everything we can to maintain those castles made of sand, right? He goes on to say that pride is precarious and easily punctured. We feel devastated when someone insults us or leaves us. We want to retaliate. Disrespect is unbearable when our self-worth is so fragile that we demand everyone admire us. Let's be real. This kind of pride actually gives all of our power away, right? It literally takes our sense of real worth, our sense of self-respect, and it puts it in the hands of others, right? It literally just gives it away. And when you think about it that way, it actually can breed a type of insecurity, right? It kind of can strip our actual deep confidence. And it's always on the verge of being threatened. It is always ready to defend itself, right? So, thank God, I'm not talking about that kind of pride today. Although I will admit I can slip into that sometimes, so I want to be able to recognize when that kind of pride is going on. What I'm talking about today is taking pride, and I love this little idiom of taking pride. And I've really been feeling into it the past few weeks. At the core of it, what it means for me is the simple pride of taking pride in who we are. And who we are exactly right now, in all the beautiful and all the messy, right? And all of the perfect imperfections and all of the accomplishments in our life, but listen, all the failures as well. But all the times that we've perhaps been humbled and picked ourselves up from those failures, it asks me, right, to take pride in something deeper than these external factors of really, ultimately, just seeing myself as the divine could maybe see me, right? As this, messy and mysterious as I have been, but literally looking at my life as something to behold, something to literally just stand in awe of, right? Of something to truly take pride in, something that's deeper than all of those things that may change and be in flux at any moment in time. And it got me asking, how often do I actually do this? How often do I actually stop and take pride in the decisions I've made and the risks I've taken and both the accomplishments and the failures, both the beauty that I've created, but maybe some of the mistakes that I've made along the way, right? But to do so in a way where I can still hold myself with a sense of love, this unconditional love, and knowing that, listen, we're all just doing the best we can. And so we can take pride in that. We can take pride in the ways that we have grown and stand in awe of the beauty and the mystery of the ways that we're continuing to grow and change and evolve in our lives. I often say that to myself and I'd be like, yeah, I've come so far, but man, I have so far to go, right? And I think we all kind of can just brush it away like that, right? Okay, maybe I've done some work, but man, I still got a lot of work to do, right? And that's real. That will always be true. But how long will we wait, right? How many years will we let go by before we simply pause and take a breath and appreciate this life that we've lived and this life that we're continuing to live every day, right? So that's what I'm inviting us into. That's what I'm inviting myself into this week, to practice, like taking pride in who we are, in who we've been, right? And learning from who we've been, and taking pride in what we're creating, what we're becoming, and really orienting with this taking pride in the present, the past, and the future, right? So let's start with the practice of taking pride in who we are right here and right now, right? And I use that word practice very intentionally, because let's be real, like having this sense of holding ourselves with a sense of real dignity, of worthiness, like truly takes practice. It's something that we need to cultivate. It's something we need to come back to. It's this idea that despite whatever is going on, we have this innate ability to come back to this sense of innate worthiness, of just being here, of just being alive. We like to talk a lot about this word wholeness in New Thought. And wholeness, I love this word wholeness, because wholeness is this realization, right? That like, right as we are, right exactly as we are right now, like nothing's missing. Despite everything that's going on, despite the world is swirling around us, despite the fact that everything is shifting and changing under our feet all the time, like we're whole. It's kind of a radical thought, but it's one that we ascribe to unapologetically, as that in this moment is whole and perfect and complete, right? And this taking pride can come from this deep remembrance that like, oh, right now, it's all good. Like, I'm good, I'm whole. Nothing is missing. And one of the spiritual practices that has really helped me with this, helped hold myself like this, is actually just sitting meditation. And sitting meditation in the way that I was taught, like the first thing you do when you go and you sit on the cushion or sitting on a chair is you pay attention to your body and your posture, right? And you can do this in your mind's eye while you're taking a walk, or you can do this when you're sitting on a lazy boy, just like picture holding yourself up. But the whole idea is that you're holding yourself with a sense of uprightness, of dignity, of strength, knowing that we can meet the world, right? So Pema Chodron, who comes out of that Shambhala Buddhist tradition that I learned meditation from, she has her most recent book is called Living Beautifully, and this is how she talks about it. She says, the basic instruction starts with posture, right? With the way our body supports us while we're meditating. We begin by being fully present in our body with awareness of our seat, our legs, our arms, our torso. We take a noble, upright, but relaxed posture, which helps us settle internally and contact a feeling of confidence and dignity within ourselves. We are claiming our warriorship here. We are claiming our bravery, claiming a fundamental feeling of all rightness. Right? Another way I've been taught this, and you all can actually do this right here, whether you're tuning in line or you're here in the outdoor sanctuary. It's this idea of having a strong back and soft front, right? This idea that like we have a backbone. So let's like live like with the backbone. Let's live with some backbone in the world, right? It's this idea that like we can literally hold ourselves with this sense of confidence in the world, right? Like we can hold ourselves with this sense of dignity just by being here. Like I am worthy of walking this planet Earth just by being here, just by being alive. And this sense of having a strong back also means that like I can meet the challenges that will inevitably rise in my life. I can do so. But at the same time, we have a soft front, right? It doesn't mean that we're like in this fighting stance all the time. We don't have to be aggressive, and we don't have to be uber defensive all the time either, right? That we can literally like have this strength that comes from having a backbone in this world. But we can also be open. We can also let the world in and allow it to move us and change us and grow us. But we can also be seen. We can allow ourselves to truly be seen. And so it's like that idea of a strong back and a soft front. And I can remember, right, like learning this at first. I remember how deeply uncomfortable I was, right? Not just physically. And it's a little uncomfortable physically. Like, I'm a little bit of a sloucher, right? Like, I'm not a slacker, but I'm a sloucher. There's a difference there. But I wasn't used to like holding myself up, right? I wasn't used to holding myself with this sense of all rightness, of dignity, of self-respect, of love. I can remember how hard that was for me. And honestly, sometimes it still is, right? Let's be real about that. But I also notice, like, with practice, with time, with literally just holding myself up in this way and coming back to that in moments when whether that's formally meditating or just taking a walk, that I began to ease into it as a more natural posture. Because here's the thing, in order to sit for long periods of time, like I've done like week-long meditations where you're sitting for like 12 hours a day, if you're slouching, that will cause more pain throughout your body, right? This uprightness physically just makes sense. But it also psychologically, spiritually makes sense. Like, this is actually the most natural position we have as human beings, is to hold ourselves with a sense of dignity and to hold ourselves with a sense of openness at the same time. It is the most natural thing that we can do, right? It reminds me of this quote by Ernest Holmes. He just says, "Whoever you are, be proud. You are a divine idea in the mind of God," right? And so I can remember, settling into this practice and feeling like this sense of belonging in a way that I hadn't felt before. Like the sense of like I belong here on this planet, doing the things that I do and the weird ways that I do them. I can remember feeling like I didn't need to conform. I didn't need to assimilate away all of those things about me that I had tried to just fit in, right? I could embrace my culture. I can embrace my height. I can embrace everything about me in a way that just made me feel like, yeah, I belong here. And so does everybody else. Brene Brown, she talks about this. She says, belonging is being accepted for you. Fitting in is being accepted for being like everyone else. I get to be me if I belong. I have to be like you to fit in. Because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance, right? And this all really reminds me of the talk last week with Reverend Shannon when she was talking about those play personalities, right? And I love how she presented these 8 different play personalities. And because I think we have all this idea of like what play is. Like it's often just like the artists or the jokesters in the room. And if we're not like gregarious like that, like we don't know how to play anymore. Like it's just been conditioned out of us, right? But I love how she presented these different play personalities that like we can be a director and we can geek out on organizing things. And that's a playful thing for me. Like I'm a competitor, right? I grew up playing sports. It's probably super annoying to play games with me because I will not let you win. I can't do it. But I derive so much joy from that competition, and competition has always made me better. It's not that I'm obsessed with winning. I like to think that I'm not obsessed with winning, but I just like competing, right? I'm watching these Olympics. I'm not gonna lie, they're a little controversial in many ways, but I've been watching them because I just love the spirit that it brings out. I love vicariously living my life through these athletes because I cannot compete like I used to. But that we can all embrace these ways that we play, right? And honor that unapologetically, taking pride in the way that we play. That was so profound for me, and I know I'm going to take that with me, like literally, for the rest of my life. So it's taking pride in who we are right now, right? That can actually give birth and lay a foundation for taking pride in what has come before, right? So often our growth is kind of slow and steady, right? Like, we can have breakthroughs and powerful moments where we just have these revelations and all of a sudden we're a different person. But most often, right, it's small changes that we make along the way. It's day by day. It's meditation by meditation. It's class by class. It's step by step, right? It's this idea of the trim tab. Are you all familiar with this idea of a trim tab? These big boats and their rudders, right? Like, because of the size of the boats and the size of the rudder, it's not just this one big rudder. Instead, on the rudder, there's a baby rudder called a trim tab, right? And this tiny little trim tab moves, and then that eventually moves the rudder in the opposite direction, which eventually moves the boat, right? It's this idea like we just make small changes in our life, and it produces big changes and big results, right? But often we don't realize that. Often we don't take the time to realize that, to really take pride in how far we've come, to take pride in all of the little changes that we've made. So taking pride also just asks us to do that. Just like, hey, can we just like take pride in all of the little changes we've made in our life up until this moment? Can we just do that for a second? Can we just love on ourselves a little bit? Be like, hey, look at you. You're doing good. I'm so proud of you, right? And that's nice when you're kind of thinking about the big picture, but there can be some sticky things too, right? We all don't like to look at our past. Well, I know I don't like to look at my past because there's some ways I've shown up in the world that I don't want to visit that again. But I find that, those very things that we want to put off and not share about and not look at, they can kind of still stay alive within me if I don't heal them, right? They can just kind of rear their ugly heads, especially when I'm like triggered or I haven't fully integrated that in my system, right? So there's this thing that Brene Brown also talks about, and she distinguishes this idea of distinguishing between guilt and shame, right? This is what she says. She says, shame is a focus on self. Guilt is a focus on behavior. Shame is, I am bad. Guilt is, I did something bad. How many of you, if you did something that was hurtful to me, would be willing to say, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake? Guilt says, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Shame says, hey, I'm sorry, I am a mistake, right? It's a subtle distinction, but it is so deeply important when we're kind of looking at our past and learning from the mistakes of our past. Guilt, I know we don't like guilt here, especially if maybe we grew up in a conservative tradition that like to utilize guilt as a weapon. I get that cannot feel good. Or we may grow up in a family culture that has just refined the use of guilt. Generation after generation, it's getting better over time. It cannot feel good. But when we distinguish a thing, right? When we can say guilt is a behavior, something that can change, and shame is overly identifying with the behavior, right? Guilt allows me to make it right. Guilt says, actually that guilt is a piece of empathy, right? Guilt is allowing you to have empathy with another person. If you don't have guilt, you probably don't have empathy either. That's like sociopath territory, y'all. Guilt can allow us to make some changes, right? Guilt says, hey, your behavior might need some changes that are good for you and those around you, right? Shame says, I'm just a horrible person. That's how I'll always be. I'm probably going to do it again anyways, right? So that subtle distinction can really give us a lot, I think, and hopefully help to make some things right in the past. Like, here's the thing. I do a lot of diversity, equity, and inclusion work, right? Where we're talking a lot about identity, talking a lot about gender, and all these different contexts and circles. And I'll tell you, even if you're involved with this just for a little bit, you will make a mistake, right? Guaranteed. You will not make a mistake in these circles. You will say something offensive. Your unconscious bias will show up. My misogynistic brain has showed up in these circles, and I realized, like, wow, I was a little douchey. Like, that is in me. I'm so sorry. But if we trip, right, and if we allow that feeling to drift into that shame zone, then we'll stop doing that work. That often can become an excuse, not an excuse, but whatever, the reason that we stop doing it because there's a little discomfort that comes up, right? Guilt can be like, hey, oops, I'm sorry. Man, I have so much to learn and unlearn. Thank you for helping me do that. Let's keep going, right? So this taking pride is also taking pride in the fact that, like, hey, I just said an imperfect thing, but I can still hold myself with dignity. Like, I'm here. And I'm going to do everything I can to make it right. But I'm also going to hold you and me in equal worth in this and know that we all have something to gain and we all have something to share simply by being together. It's so good, right? It can be so good. Brian Stevenson, this is a quote that comes back to me when I'm tripping about something. Brian Stevenson, Just Mercy. If y'all haven't seen that movie yet, it's beautiful. Brian Stevenson wrote a book, and a movie was made about it. He is a lawyer, and he works with people that are on death row, right? And in every interview he conducts, and when he talks about his work, he always says, I believe that each person is more than the worst thing they've ever done. And I believe that for all of us too. And I believe that for all the people that we're working with, regardless of the circles that we're working with them in, we're all better than the worst thing we've ever done. That we can hold ourselves and this person that's sitting in front of us with a sense of love, of pride, taking pride in who we are and taking pride in who they are and who they've been and who they're becoming, right? Like, taking pride in this way can also lay a foundation for creating and co-creating a future that we can truly be proud of, right? And that's what we're ending with today. Like, taking pride can be a powerful interrupter for that shame, right? When we come back to just like this sense of dignity, no matter what, if we're in that shame cycle, taking pride can just be like, hey, bro, you're tripping right now. Come back. Take pride in who you are. Take pride in the fact that you're here. Take pride that you're putting yourself in situations that involve a little bit of risk. Take pride in the fact that you're seeking to make yourself a little bit better. Take pride in the spiritual path that you are walking. Take pride in the gifts that you have to bring. Take pride in the ways that you are learning. Take pride in all of the learning you still have yet to do. Take pride, right? I don't know about you all, but like, I think these are the kind of tools that we need for navigating this current world that we're living in right now. There's a lot of transformation that's happening. And sometimes, like, I truly believe deeply that we're all being led through this time that is going to end in a deeper sense of harmony, right? We have to hold the fact that everything that we are being led through right now is going to lead us somewhere greater, that we are evolving in this time. And yes, this is a tricky time. This is a complex time. But I have to hold to the fact that we are still co-creating with the divine, that where I am, God is still here, and that we are being led to something greater, right? More harmony with ourselves, or harmony with each other, more harmony with this planet Earth. That is where I believe that we're being guided. And I have to tell y'all, I am getting so fatigued by this polarization. Is anyone else joining me in that? I am tired. I'm tired of it. John Pavlovitz, did he actually come here yet? Yes. Okay, so you all know who he is. He just wrote a really honest article about this, so I invite you all to go check it out after this. But I want to be honest, I'm yearning for something deeper. I'm yearning for something that nourishes us, that challenges me, but doesn't cause me to fall into hatefulness or hopelessness or division. I'm yearning to feel closeness with those on the other side of the aisle from me. Not because I need everything to be hunky-dory, because I know that like we're going together. We're all bozos on this bus. Like we're all traveling on this planet Earth together. Like we have to go together. Like we're not just gonna eliminate half the population. Like that's not how it works, y'all. So I'm yearning for something deeper than that. I'm yearning for ways that we can navigate these times in a way that really nourishes us, that can actually bring us joy, that can perhaps bring us together. I'm starting a 4-week workshop called Heart-Centered Social Justice. And in many ways, it is a culmination of this yearning, right? In it, we talk about how to approach social justice from this place of love. Love for ourselves, love for each other, love for this planet. We spend some time in learning some actual tools to rebuild some bridges that we may have burned along the way, or maybe that were burned for us. I don't know. There's a lot of that going on. But it also asks us to actually receive joy and nourishment from social justice work, not as something that is always just fighting, but as something that literally brings the biggest joy that we could ever experience, right? So I realize this is a shameless plug. I'm working on the shame thing though, right? Like we're just letting go of shame. I'm taking pride in this workshop and what we are creating together. And I really look forward to getting to know you all and spending 4 weeks together as we explore how we can be a positive force of change on this planet from a place of love. So, y'all, this is the time. We are here together. We are still navigating this pandemic. So we're doing so in ways where we're continually adjusting, but I believe that we're all being called to be here on purpose for a reason, and each one of us has a role to play. It's this burden and beauty of being human. We can't do it all, but we can do our small piece, and amen to that. Thank you. So let's ground all of this in a quick little prayer and contemplation. How good it is, how lucky are we that we can just spend a moment or two and come into this remembrance of our wholeness, of this remembrance of no matter what is going on in our lives, at this moment, nothing is missing. We come into this remembrance and come to realize that this feeling of nothing's missing, this feeling of truly feeling whole in every cell and fiber and corner of our being, that's the movement of the divine in us and as us and through us. It's that still small voice that reminds us that, it doesn't have to be this way. That we can live a life that is full of joy. We can be a person that is a positive force on this planet. We can take pride in all we are and everything that has come before and everything that we create from this moment. We can take pride in that too. How good it is to come into that loving space where we're feeling unconditional love for ourselves and for the world and for each other, where joy and hope can thrive in that, where we can meet the challenges of the world with this strong back, yet still have a soft front, completely translucent, able to be seen and to see the world, to be moved by it, to allow ourselves to be changed by it. How good it is to be a human being on this planet right here and right now, knowing that we are continually being drawn to folks that are walking the same path with us. How good it is to be in this place right here and right now. So I know that as we go forth, we take pride in who we are. We take pride in what has been. We distinguish between guilt and shame so that we can take a deeper accountability for making things right, and we let go of overly identifying with things that may have not in the past. We settle into this, and we know that this is the beauty and natural way of being in the world, and so we simply let it be. We let it become, and we let it be so. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Reverend Masando. You gave me a lot to think about this week and to practice into. I love that. Thank you. Hey, y'all, this is our time for conscious giving. And I want to thank you for everything you do to support this community with your time, with your talent, and with your treasure. There are lots of different ways that you can give. You know, Reverend Shannon is a monthly giver. She has it set up. It automatically happens. And so she likes to put this little card in the bucket as that prayerful reminder that that is an activity of spirit happening through her. If you're interested in setting up automatic giving, check in with Carolyn, who'll be up at the information table here later. I'm a big fan of text to give. Are you tired of hearing me talk about text to give yet? It is the best thing ever. You set it up and then you just put in your number and hit send and it goes. And that number is 503-966-3236. The first time you'll have to put in your credit card information, and after that it's automatic and it's fabulous and it's wonderful. There are other ways to give on our website, newthoughtcsl.org/give. So thank you. Whatever your gift is today, thank you. Let's bless whatever is yours to give this day, whether it's with your dollars or whether it's with your love, your volunteer time. Let's speak a word of blessing on it. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. LaRonda Steele.
Strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes comes while living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decision when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the help of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives. Oh, I am the place where God shows up. Yes, I am. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Come on, y'all, stand up and sing this with us. I am the place where God lives, you are the place, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Come on and sing. I am the place where God, I am the place, you are the place where God shows up. Lift your voices and sing. Come on, y'all. Yes. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. How about just the voices, y'all? Come on, let's sing. I am the place where God moves and breathes. Has its being, yes. I am the place where God shows up. Know this in your heart. Let's sing it together again. I am the place where God moves and breathes. Has its being. I am the place where
Thank you. I feel it when you sing it in my body.
Yes. Yes.
I am the place where God lives. Thank you, LaRonda Steele. Hey, y'all, I have a couple of quick announcements
before
for
you
you.
do that.
Yes. Brian.
Adrian informed me not more than 20 minutes ago that on September 18th,
Wait, there's more.
Oh, my goodness.
he will be presenting once again his annual, except for last year. It was last year? Okay, that's right. it was
Oh,
last.
wow.
His annual Nina Simone tribute concert on September 18th at the Alberta Rose Theater featuring LaRonda Steele.
Birds flying high.
September 18th at the Alberta Rose. If you go to the Alberta Rose website, you can get all the information there. Do y'all know if it's going to be streamed?
Don't know that.
Okay. We'll let you know if it's going to be streamed, because I know last year there was some talk about that. So that's amazing. Follow LaRonda on all the usual places on social media, y'all. She's doing some really cool stuff, concerts in the park and all kinds of really great stuff going on. Hey, it is time to start considering registering for our fall retreat coming up October 22nd through the 24th. Reverend Shannon O'Hurley, who sends her very big love to you this day, by the way, might I add. She's missing us, and we are blessing her in her travels this week. So Reverend Shannon, Rev Masando, music with Laura Berman, and all of us together. We belong, our fall community retreat. It's going to be COVID safe. We don't know what that looks like yet because we're still waiting on science to let us know what that's going to look like. Yes. So here's something new today. If you are here in person, you can register. We have a registration table up here. Our communications director, Rebecca Hiraoka, and our office manager, Carolyn Gomez, and I will all be up there to answer any questions that you might have and get you signed up for the fall retreat. The other thing we'll be registering you for today is our Heart-Centered Social Justice 4-week class with Rev Masando. That's 4 Wednesday nights. 6:30 to 8:30. And I just want to tell you something. This workshop will explore the place where spirituality intersects with social action. And I just want to tell you a couple of the takeaways that you're going to get. He's going to help us explore what we mean and don't mean when we talk about social justice. Thank you for that. We're going to discover ways that new thought in all the world's religions embrace social action as part of the spiritual path. We're going to utilize spiritual principle to ground and guide our actions. But let me tell you why I'm going to take this class. We're going to learn tools to lovingly and powerfully engage with those who have opposing points of view. And that's why I'm going to take your class, Reverend Masando. So check out our website. It's going to be hybrid, in person and online. So look on our website calendar for more information on that. If you are curious, if you're here in our beautiful outdoor sanctuary, we'll be up there with more information about that. Qigong started last week. Rosemary, how did it go? Was it so great? Oh, so tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., under the trees where it's nice and cool. Y'all just come on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share all the normal places, y'all. Hey, guess what? This plant beautifulness is a gift to the Hiraokas. as a welcome home into the parsonage house that Carolyn Gomez picked up for us. So welcome home, y'all. We're so glad you're here. Hey, Rev Masando, we have people in Colorado, California, Arizona, New Mexico. I think
Those
that
places
might
sound
be
familiar.
Idaho, Nevada. Hello, people all across Oregon, over in Germany, and I know that we have a very special someone watching in Hawaii this day. So wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining us today, right, Rev?
Yes. So I want to welcome back the teens. They actually came back during their last song, so they got to hang out with us. Got a nice crew today. So just a reminder, parents, you can pick up your children at the Children's Pavilion in the courtyard under the tent. Would the practitioners please stand and make your way to the back? If you have not received a quick prayer with a practitioner, I just so recommend that. It is a way to jumpstart your week. It's a way just to know that someone else is holding you in consciousness, no matter what's going on in your life. So if you see someone wearing a stole, know you can go to them for prayer afterwards. I will be at the welcome table in the back, so come say hello. You can come put in a written prayer request back there and also receive a newcomer packet and get registered for these amazing things that are coming up. So let's stand for our benediction as we go forth from this place. May you go in the light, as the light, and with the light until we meet again. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surrounds you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. Blessed be. Love y'all.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart